Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I, Mr. Yogesh, Faculty of Mathematics, and I am here to put excitement back into the education. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about domain and range of the functions. So, supposed to be we might have the first function is of the form f of x is equals to, let it be 1 upon root of x square minus of 4, and we are finding now domain of the given function. So let us consider y to be equals to the given function as a 1 upon root of x square minus of 4. So after all squaring on both sides we get y square to be equals to 1 upon x square minus of 4. So here we know that square of any real number never be negative, or we can write now here we know that square of any real number or any real value never be negative. So that implies your y square value is never be negative, means ultimately 1 upon x square minus of 4 never be negative means it is greater equal 0. So ultimately numerator is the 1, that is the constant. So the plus minus sign of the given rational is depends upon the denominator. So we might be says that now the denominator x square minus of 4 is strictly greater equal 0. But once here x square minus of 4 lie towards the denominator, and once x square minus of 4 is equals to 0, so that implies f of x is not defined at that point of x. That means we have to consider x square minus of 4 is strictly greater than 0. So after all factorizing, we have x square at first, x square minus 4 be the perfect square for 2, that should be strictly greater than that of 0. So a square minus b square gives us a plus b into a minus b, that should be strictly greater than 0. So when it is possible that the given two terms after multiplying that should be greater than or the strictly greater than 0. So we have there are the two cases. First case, once both are positive, then the multiplication of any two positive number is always strictly greater than 0. That means once x plus 2 is greater than 0 and x minus 2 is greater than 0, then the multiplication of them is a positive number. And might be we have the case second, once both are negative, so product of any two negative number is always greater than 0, because under the multiplication minus minus becomes a plus. So we are having the second case, x plus 2 is strictly less than 0 and x minus 2 is strictly less than 0. So among them any one case should satisfy, then we can find the values of x's means the domain of the given function. So we might be put that either a first case or the second case. So let us try to simplify all inequalities whatever we have. So here x is strictly greater than minus of 2 and x is strictly greater than 2, or you might be says x is strictly less than minus of 2 and x is strictly less than that of 2. So look at once towards the real number line. We have to consider now and means the intersection of both intervals. So for that consider a real number line. Somewhere we have a 2 on it and left of it we have a minus of 2. So now which are the numbers that should be strictly less than that of minus of 2? So minus of 2 is not included, while the number left of minus of 2 that are always, we will require x is strictly greater than minus of 2 here. So the numbers which are lies just right of minus of 2, that should be always greater than that of minus of 2. So we might have the red line. Now which are the numbers that are strictly greater than that of 2? So 2 is not included. So the number which are lies just right of 2, that should be always greater than that of 2. So which is your a intersection part of both interval? So it might be the numbers which are strictly greater than that of 2, that are ultimately greater than that of minus of 2. So we have the intersection of both intervals becomes x is strictly greater than that of 2. On the same basis, try to simplify the second case. So for that again we have to consider, so there is a word as an or. So for that we have to consider now a real number line. Somewhere we have a 2, left of it we have a minus of 2. Now which are the possible real numbers that should be strictly less than that of minus of 2? So minus of 2 is not included in that interval, while those numbers which are lies just left of minus 2, that are always less than that of minus 2. While which are the possible number that should be strictly less than 2? So 2 is not included. Whatever be the number lies just left of 2, that should be always a less than that of 2. So we might have their intersection part now. So whatever be the numbers that are strictly less than that of minus of 2 are ultimately less than that of a 2. So x is the intersecting part of both interval we are having strictly less than that of minus of 2. So now if we will consider again a real number line, somewhere we have a 2 and minus of 2. So now we have to consider or means the union were there, keep in mind. So which are the numbers that should be strictly greater than that of 2? 2 is not included, whatever be the number right of 2. While which are the possible real numbers that strictly less than that of minus 2? Minus 2 is not included, and whatever number which are like just left of minus 2, that should be always less than that of 2. So as per that we will get now the union of both cases means our required domain or the possible values of x's. So x should belongs to the open interval minus infinity comma minus of 2 union 2 comma positive infinity. So the domain of the given function becomes an open interval minus infinity comma minus of 2 union 2 comma infinity. Or you may write the domain is of the form sets of all real numbers excluding the closed interval minus 2 comma 2. Now look at the next question we are having. It is of the form, we will consider the function f of x is equals to root of 16 minus x square. F of x to be equals to root of 16 minus x square. So again let us assume that y to be equals to the given function root of 16 minus x square. So that implies y square to be equals to 16 minus x square. So we are well known now again. We know that square of any real number, I wanted to set any real number, never be negative, or it might be always a positive, like that way statement you are having here. So once here y square never be negative, so that implies your 16 minus x square never be negative, means we are having here 16 minus x square is always greater equal 0. So 16 is the perfect square for 4. We are having 4 square minus of x square is greater equal 0. So as per the formula a square minus b square, we are having factors for the given quadratic expression. 4 plus x into 4 minus x is greater equal 0. So ultimately again here we are having the two cases over there. Once both brackets are having the positive value, then the overall result becomes a positive, and if both brackets are having the negative value, then the overall result becomes a positive value including 0 also. So we are having the first case as 4 plus x is greater equal 0 and 4 minus x is greater equal 0, then overall multiplication of both factors we are having greater equal 0. And the second case is of the form, once both are to be negative, so 4 plus x less equal 0 and 4 minus x is less equal 0, then ultimately product of any two negative numbers becomes a positive. So we are having 4 plus x into 4 minus x is greater equal 0. So let us try to simplify all inequalities here. After all simplifying, we get x is greater equal 4 and 4 is greater equal x here. So that implies ultimately x is less equal 4. So now we have to consider and means the intersecting part of both intervals. So for that, consider a real number line. Somewhere we have a 4 and left of it we have a minus of 4. Whatever be the required numbers, we have to take it on a real number that are only on your real number line. So which are the possible real numbers that should be greater equal 4, including 4, and those who are lies just right of the 4. Now which are the numbers that should be, here we are having ultimately shifting the 4, it is of the form actually the minus of 4, keep in mind minus of 4 over there, because after all shifting the 4 we might have the minus 4. So x is greater equal ultimately the minus 4, and we are talking about the first condition now. So we have here which are the possible values that should be greater equal minus 4. So including minus of 4 and whatever be the real number lies just right of the minus 4. Now which are the possible values of x's that should be less equal 4. So including 4 and whatever be the value just lies left of 4. That means ultimately our x is greater equal minus of 4 and ultimately less equal 4. Or you may write in terms of the interval x belongs to the closed interval minus 4 comma 4. Now look at the second case we are having. It is of the form. After all simplifying the inequality, x should be less equal minus of 4 and 4 should be less equal x, that is x should be greater equal 4. Now which are the possible values on your real number line that should be less equal than that of minus 4. So including minus 4 and whatever value lies just left of the minus 4. Now the next one, which are the values that should be greater equal 4. So including 4 and whatever value lies just right of the 4. Now if we are finding the intersecting part of the both interval, because there is a word as an and, so it becomes your a null set. That means no such an interval is exist in which the given inequality must satisfies. That means for 4 plus x never be less equal 0 and 4 minus x never be less equal 0. So such the second case is not possible in this example. So we might have just a domain now. As per the first case we might have minus 4 comma 4 as an closed interval. Now how to find that the range? So for a range we have the domain is of the form, a condition on a x is of the form x is lies is in between minus 4 to plus 4 for a range. So after all squaring, now we will require the x square as per the function. So after all squaring throughout the inequality, we might get now the value of, let it be x, becomes a minus of 3. So minus of 3 square, we have it as a positive real number. And if we will consider x value becomes a 0 in an interval, then the 0 square becomes 0 we are having. So the value of x square is always greater equal 0, and simultaneously 4 square becomes a 16, so it is less equal ultimately a 16. Now we will require there is a minus of x square is in the given function. So Let us multiply throughout the inequality by minus of 1. We get 0 is now the sign convention of inequality must changes from less equal to greater equal. So 0 is greater equal than that of minus of x square and greater equal than that of 16. Now we will require there is a 16 minus x square as per the given function. So let us add up 16 throughout the inequality. We get 0 plus 16 is greater equal 16 minus of x square is greater equal, we are having there is a minus of 16 after multiplying throughout by minus of 1. So we are having now 16 minus of 16 over there. So that implies now 0 plus 16 as a 16. 16 is greater equal 16 minus x square, which is greater equal 16 minus 16 becomes a 0. That is, we can write the given inequalities of the form 0 is less equal 16 minus x square, which is less equal than that of 16. So using the given function, we will require square root of 16 minus x square. So after all, taking square root throughout the inequality, we might have now 0 is less equal root of 16 minus x square, and which is less equal than that of 4. Now root of 16 minus x square is the value of your f of x, or you may say that as a y. So f of x lies in between 0 to 4. You might denote it as per the interval f of x belongs to the closed interval 0, 4. So range of the given function is of the form a closed interval 0, 4. Now look at the next function. We might have it is of the form f of x to be equals to root of x minus 1 divided by 4 minus x. So here the numerator and denominator both are under the square root, keep in mind. So let us assume that y to be equals to the root of x minus 1 divided by 4 minus x. After all, squaring on both sides, y square to be equals to x minus 1 divided by 4 minus x. So again, everyone well known. So we know that square of any real number never be negative. So look once carefully here. What about now the condition on x minus 1 divided by 4 minus x? So y square value is never be negative. So ultimately x minus 1 divided by 4 minus x greater equal 0. So for that, again there are two possible cases. Look once here, numerator is some function of variable x, while denominator is some function of variable x. So there might be the possibility of numerator may be the negative, may be the positive. Same thing, denominator may be the negative, may be the positive. So once your numerator and denominator both are positive, then overall division results a positive real. So for that, x minus 1 is greater equal 0 and 4 minus x must be greater equal 0. Both are positive, then the division becomes a positive result. Now once both are negative, then the division becomes a negative as a positive. So we might have now the second case is of the form. So I will note it down here, or x minus 1 is less equal 0 and 4 minus x is less equal 0. So after all simplifying now those all inequalities, we might get the domain of the given function is of the form x minus 1 is greater equal 0, means x is greater equal 1. And now look once towards the denominator of the given function, it is 4 minus x. So it never be 0. So we will consider here 4 minus x is strictly greater than 0. Same thing. Again 4 minus x is our denominator, so that never be a 0. So we will consider 4 minus x is strictly less than that of 0. So we might have now 4 is greater than that of x. So now we have to consider the intersecting part of the both interval, because those two cases satisfy simultaneously. Then we might have the possible value of x. So consider a real number line. On it somewhere we have a 4 and somewhere we have a 1. We required only the two numbers, so might we consider the two numbers. So 1 is lies left of 4 or the 4 is lies right of 1. So for the first inequality x is greater equal 1, so 1 is included in an interval and whatever be the real number just lies just right to the 1 that are greater equal 1. So whenever 4 is strictly greater than x, that is we can write it as x is strictly less than that of 4. So 4 is not included in an interval and whatever be the real number lies just left of 4, that should be a strictly less than 4. Now the common part or the intersecting part between the two intervals we are having or the two inequalities we are having, it is the semi-closed interval 1 comma 4. That means x belongs to now the semi-closed interval 1 comma 4. Now consider the second case. Try to simplify both inequalities. We might have x is less equal 1 and after all shifting minus x we get 4 is strictly less than that of x. So that implies now x is strictly greater than that of 4. Again on the same basis, to consider the common part or the intersecting part between the inequations or the intervals, we might consider a real number line. We required only the two numbers 1 and 4. So 4 somewhere is on your real number line and left of it we have 1. Now x is less equal than that of 1. So 1 is included and whatever be the real numbers lies left of 4, that should be less than that of 1. Left of 1, that should be less than that of 1. Now x is strictly greater than 4. So 4 is not included in an interval and whatever be the values lies just right to the 4, that should be greater than that of 4. Now look at once there is a, if we are finding now the intersection of both intervals or the inequations, so there is a no one common part. So the intersection of the given inequations becomes a empty set or the null set. That means this case is not possible. This case is not possible. So now we have the values of x's must lies in between the semi-closed interval 1 comma 4. So we might have now our domain equals to the semi-closed interval 1 comma 4. Now look at the next question. We are having it is of the form f of x to be equals to, now we are finding the domain and range, both domain and range of the given function. F of x to be equals to, supposed to be we are having root of x minus 3. So same thing here, let us consider y to be equals to the given function root of x minus 3. After all squaring we might have y square to be equals to x minus 3. Again we know that square of any real number is always a positive or never be negative. You might be says never negative. It might be the always positive including 0. So we will get here once the y square value never be negative, so the root of, that means yes, x minus 3 is greater equal 0. So x minus 3 is greater equal 0. So that implies now x is greater equal 3. So we have the domain, that means the values of x belongs to the semi-closed interval 3 comma infinity. So we might have the domain is of the form semi-closed interval 0 comma infinity. Now if we are trying to find out the range, so for range, so we have condition on x becomes x is greater equal 3. So that implies now after all subtracting 3 from both sides, x minus 3 is greater equal 0. So that implies our taking square root on both sides, root of x minus 3 is ultimately greater or equal 0. That implies f of x is greater or equal 0. And everyone well known, square root of any positive, or we might be says the positive square root of any positive or 0 real value is never be negative. So ultimately f of x is greater or equal 0. Keep in mind. So therefore we might have in terms of the interval f of x belongs to the semi-closed interval 0 comma positive infinity. So range is of the form now a semi-closed interval 0 comma infinity. Keep in mind we have here is one statement, that is positive square root of any positive or 0 real value is never negative. So what does this statement implies? We have here the positive square root, keep in mind. So positive square root of, and x minus 3, we have the condition on x minus 3, it becomes greater or equal 0. So the positive square root of any positive or 0 real value never be negative. That means the y value is, or the f of x value is ultimately always greater or equal 0. So we have our range be the semi-closed interval 0 comma infinity. Now look at the next function. Suppose to be we have function is of the form, and we are finding the domain and range of the given function. So function is of the form x minus 4 divided by 4 minus x. So it is clear that f of x is defined for all real values of x's except for the case when denominator becomes a 0. Okay, but among that, here denominator becomes a 4 minus x, so we might write here, so we have f of x is defined for all real values of x's, for all real values of x except at the denominator is 0, because when denominator is 0, because when 4 minus x is 0, then f of x is undefined. So that is at, so now after all shifting that minus x, 0 plus x becomes x, so we have x is equals to 4. So at x is equals to 4, the value of f of x is undefined, ultimately undefined. So here x becomes sets of all real numbers excluding 4. So we have the domain now is of the form sets of all real numbers excluding a singleton 4. Now we are trying to find out the range of the given function. So for range, we might have here y to be equals to x minus 4 divided by 4 minus x. So that implies after all simplifying your RHS, we get x minus 4 divided by, after all taking minus sign from denominator common, sign further all changes from plus to minus, minus to plus. So we might have minus of x becomes a positive x and 4 becomes a minus of 4. So here my x minus 4 from numerator denominator getting cancelled, we might have y to be equals to the minus of 1. That means thus when x to be not equal to the 4, that implies y to be equals to always a minus of 1. That means you might have f of x to be equals to always a minus of 1. So the range of the given function becomes a singleton minus 1, because for any real value of x except 4, we are having y value becomes a minus 1, so the range is singleton minus 1. Now we are going to discuss about the modulus function. We are finding now the domain and range of the function. So we might consider f of x to be equals to modulus of x minus 4 here. So as per the case of modulus function supposed to be f of x to be equals to the mod x. So there are two possible values of x's. One is minus x, other is positive x. So whenever x is strictly less than that of 0, we have the value of x becomes a minus of x, and whenever x is greater equal 0, we have positive values of x's including 0. So same case we have to follow here. For now f of x becomes here mod of x minus 4. So it has a two values, either a minus of x minus 4 or the positive value of x minus 4. Whenever x minus 4 is strictly less than 0 and whenever x minus 4 is greater equal 0, we have the positive value of x minus 4. Now consider the two inequalities. So we might have here, now the given modulus or given function has a domain for x minus 4 is strictly less than 0 and x minus 4 is greater equal. Do not use the AND word over there. So we have the two condition, either first one or the second one. So we might be considered the union means the OR. So we once it is strictly less than 0, we have a minus of x minus 4 value of the given modulus, and once it is x minus 4 is greater equal 0, we have the positive value of the given modulus. So now look once carefully here. After all simplifying those inequality, we are having x is strictly less than 4 or x is greater equal 4. So as per the real number line, we have to take now their union. So consider a real number line. Somewhere we have a 4 on it. So which are the possible numbers now or the real numbers now? That should be firstly strictly less than that of 4. So 4 is not included in an interval. So we have a all the real numbers that should lies just left of 4, that should be strictly less than 4. Now for the second case, x is greater or equal 4 means now the 4 is included in an interval and whatever be the real number lies right of the 4 that are greater than 4. That means x belongs to now, as per the union of the both intervals, x belongs to now sets of real number. You might have in terms of the interval, x belongs to open interval minus infinity comma plus infinity. So this is now the domain of the given function. Thus f of x is defined for all real values of x, we might be says. So the domain becomes sets of all real number, or you might have in terms of the interval minus infinity comma positive infinity. Now for finding the range, so for range, so what will happen? First condition we are having on x is strictly less than 4, so that implies x minus 4 is strictly less than that of 0, and once x minus 4 is strictly less than 0, so we will require here the case 4 minus x, or we might have the negative value of it, negative value of the x minus 4 should be strictly greater than 0. So ultimately we are having the modulus of x minus 4 is strictly greater than 0. So that implies ultimately f of x is strictly greater than 0. Now as per the second condition on x, we are having x is greater equal 4. So that implies ultimately x minus 4 is greater equal 0. So the positive value were there. So it's a modulus becomes a positive value. So the modulus of x minus 4 is greater equal 0, and ultimately f of x is greater equal 0. So that implies ultimately the range of the given function now, so range of the given function f becomes the semi-closed interval 0 comma positive infinity. You might have here f of x, that means belongs to the semi-closed interval 0 comma infinity as per the intervals. Now suppose we wanted to consider the next example now is of the form f of x to be equals to, few more example depends upon the modulus, minus of mod of twice x now. So everyone well known the graphical representation of mod of x is of the form like way. So whatever be the real value of x, the value of y becomes always a positive real including 0. Once now, that means we are having at that time f of x to be equals to mod of x. Once now if we are having f of x to be equals to the minus of modulus of x, then the graphical representation might be is of the form like way. So whatever be the real value of x, we have always the value of y becomes a negative real including 0. So for now the modulus function we might know about f of x to be equals to the mod of x. Whenever x to be equals to minus of x, we have x is strictly less than 0. Whenever x is equals to the positive x, we have x is greater equal 0. So instead of x now we are having, or the mod of x now function we are having it as a minus of mod of twice x. So whenever minus of minus 2x were there and minus of 2x now strictly less than that of 0. And whenever we are having positive value of minus of 2x at a point twice x to be greater equal 0. So now we have there are the two inequalities. First inequality is of the form minus of twice x is strictly less than that of 0. So after all simplifying we get x is strictly less than 0. Or second inequality we are having twice x is greater equal 0. So that implies now x is greater equal 0. So once we will consider here the union of both interval. So for that consider a real number line somewhere we have a 0 on it. So as per the first inequality x is strictly less than 0. So 0 is not included. And whatever be the real numbers lies left of 0, that should be always less than 0. As per the second inequality, now the 0 is included in that inequality. So it should be denoted by the solid circular dot, and whatever be the real number lies just right of the 0 that are greater than that of 0. So union of both becomes we are having the open interval minus infinity comma infinity over here. So sets of all real numbers ultimately. That means x belongs to this. So the domain of the given function we have as an open interval minus infinity comma positive infinity. Now for finding the range we are having, that means sets of all real numbers you might be says be the domain. So we have the first inequality as of the form x is strictly less than 0. So that implies ultimately twice x is strictly less than 0. That implies minus of twice x is ultimately greater than that of, is it minus of twice x is minus of minus twice x ultimately. We have to rearrange two minus signs together. So minus minus becomes a plus and it should be now as per the inequality there is a no one sign convention change because minus minus we are arranging minus minus becomes a plus. So it is strictly less than that of 0. So that implies now once a modulus of minus of 2 we have a mod of twice x. Now it is strictly less than that of 0. That means ultimately we are having f of x is strictly less than 0. As per the second case x is greater equal 0. So that implies twice x is greater equal 0. again we are arranging here. No need to arrange actually. Yes, but we have, there is a minus of twice x. So we are arranging here the negative sign. So here that implies now ultimately minus of twice x. So there is a change of sign of inequality from greater equal to less equal due to the negative sign is less equal 0. So ultimately minus of twice x. So twice x we can write it as a mod of twice x. Positive values are, modulus becomes a positive value. So we can write it as like way less equal 0. So ultimately f of x is less equal 0. That means we are having now f of x be the less equal 0. So that implies ultimately f of x belongs to the semi-closed interval 0 comma infinity. Keep in mind here we have to consider the union of both cases whatever we have for finding the range as well as the domain. So the range of the given function f is equals to, we have a semi-closed interval 0 comma infinity again. So today we will stop here. Few more examples we are having finding the range and domain of the given function we might discuss during the next lecture. Thank you.